And starting. All right, so I'm getting myself all set up. I successfully pre-planned to get the chat going. I gotta make sure I got everything all done. And then I started doing things and I realized it's 1:58. I gotta go. Okay. So hello to you all. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up as we get going today. It is October 31st, 2017. It is officially Halloween for those who do that. Hello here, Chicky. Hey, I love that name. I really do. If I could get them to sponsor and just send me these things for free, I'd be so happy. So let me tell you, hey, Learning as we grow, how are you? I finally broke down and went to the doctor. Coughing for 2 months. I finally went and I broke down. But what happened was Saturday, my husband had just had this decision that we had to go out and about and do things. And, hey, Mayflower, you see what you wrote? Hey, Panther Christian Academy. Whoa. Hey, Creating Essence. Hello there. What is it? Apprentice? Hey, Miss Sarah. Thank you for loving my videos. So we went out and about because it was raining and my husband's like, I don't want to be stuck in this tiny house. And I was all like cleaning my schoolhouse because I haven't had time. And he made me go leave. And we went to 11 places. Now that's just a huge thing for us to do. But we were in the rain, in and out into the AC buildings and in and out of the AC van. I came home, I couldn't breathe. I couldn't, like my lungs just burned. Hey, Claire. Hey, Stacy. Hey, Cuddly Cactus. I don't want to cuddle you, though, if you're a cactus. We have those prickly pears. And I made the mistake because they bloomed. And the blooms are so beautiful that you just want to pet them. And then you realize you have all these, like, microfiber needles all in you from the prickly pear, and you're just like, are you kidding me? So we had to learn not to touch them no matter how beautiful they are. So yeah, that night I came home and I couldn't breathe. I'd get coughing and it really get me going. So I took a nebulizer treatment and I started Robitussin. So I started taking some Robitussin and I took it all day Sunday. Monday morning I had a pediatrician appointment to go to, and I'm at the pediatrician's office and I'm like, hey, will you check my lungs? I have a feeling I got some crud in there, but I don't really have time to go to the doctor, so check me and tell me I need to go to the doctor. And she's like, you need to go to the doctor. And I was like, I'll go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor, and if you notice, I'm a little bit like bright-eyed and bushy-tailed because I'm on everything. I had probably some steroids too to open up my lungs up, so I'm a little bit like, I don't know, I feel a little bit vibranter than usual. Which is funny because I'm like, VPK, stress and gluten-free. Oh my. That's so done. I made it to catch you live. Yay. Hey, Mama Geek. So I promised you last week that I would do this show in the room behind me. Here I am. I'm actually in the room behind me. It probably almost looks different, but not really that different. But I'm going to give you a little tour. I'm going to tell you Saturday I completely cleaned this room and I'm working on that room. I'll show you that in a minute too. And I got a lot done. In fact, the table that I'm set up at is one of the tables that was in the other room. So the goal in this room, and I'll show you in just a minute, is to house all of my curriculum, references, and such that I don't want to store in the other building and the other house. And I also need a place to set up and sew and let my kids sew without having to pack it up every time we do it. So, hey, Mama Cat. Hey, Green Gables. You made it in. The Five Oaks is here. She said, so glad to catch you live. So glad you went to the doctor finally. Definitely noticed your cough over the last few weeks. Mama Cat noticed it too. I know. I don't know. I should have took care of it. And I'm in there and he's like and that's the thing. So socially knowing my doctor and he knows what's going on. And he's like, seriously, you waited this long. And I'm like, he's checking me. He's like, are you kidding me? I'm like, okay, next time I'll try not to go this long. I shouldn't have gone, but that's what I do. Okay. So I want the kids to sew. I want the kids to be doing their sewing and to be able to work on projects and stuff like that. And I need it separated. So this is what I did in here. So let me show you. Haha, you're a mom. Oh, you waited so that long. Okay. Ooh. Oh man, that hurts. Man, that really hurt. I caught the corner of the table. Sorry. What's going on? I hate going to the doctor. Mama Cat says, your mom, we never take care of ourselves. Isn't that true? I mean, I was close to dying. That was my motivation. Okay. So here's the room. There's still like this mammoth pile right here is still a work in progress, but the whole room looked like that up to the top. So I have 4 of my bookshelves. All of that's curriculum, and all of that is not all my curriculum. I mean, I got more than that. And then I have sewing machines, yeah. Because see, I have like the big table here. There is the ironing board. More garbage. I know it's still like I said, a work in progress. There's the fridge, and then I really have a lot of. Can you see that? I even have storage up top. Okay. Yes, all those are the BJU DVDs that we are not using right now. And then some sewing stuff and things. One of my plans is I still have more of these shelves at the other house. I'm going to put them here because there's a few more things I want to have there. I don't go to the doctor ever. My husband knows that if I say I need to go to the doctor, he needs to call 911. Seriously, it's been spot on every time. I totally get you. Okay. So I've cleaned this room a little bit. And so now I only have the one table because I plan on doing some more round table things. And I'm trying to work out like the loop schedule so I have some stuff there. Hey, buddy. And then I actually removed my desk. There. Oh, say hi. Hi. And so I moved my desk. So anyways, we're trying to get all that work done. All right, so that's kind of what I've done so far. I've even changed a little bit. I gave my daughter, instead of a table, I gave her a desk. I'll say she's a little bit more cozier. I'm hoping to just happen to come across another desk or two, and I'm slowly going to bring some desks in. So as they're coming in, I'm leaving into that front room. This is why I've always got things going on. Don't mess with my Sharpies, because that would be tragic. So that was my promise. And I have to admit, I was a little bit agitated. So I was getting things done Saturday, and it starts to rain. And I'm like finally in like ADHD mommy hyper focus, getting things done, and I'm cracking stuff out. And my husband's like, let's go to town and go eat. And I'm like, no, I'm getting things done. Why would I want to go out and leave? So he talks me into it. We don't pull up back to the house. This is 1 o'clock in the afternoon. My husband's not a big, like, let's be away from the house kind of guy. We don't pull back up until like 8 p.m. So then we're eating dinner, and we brought home dinner and stuff like that. And Sunday was busy, and Sunday I started cleaning the house. You know, I'm like dozing Robitussin, I'm feeling good, I'm doing laundry, I'm feeling great. And I like literally told my husband Monday afternoon, I was like, I have still not stepped foot back in my schoolhouse since 1 o'clock Saturday that you made me leave, because I knew this was going to happen. I'll never get back out there to do what I need to do, you know. So I'm finally back out there today. All right, so, oh, thanks, you guys. They're so excited about doing the fall festival today. It's really, we do a lot of cool stuff. Crystal Connecting the Dots says, hi from Ontario, Canada. Homeschool mom with special needs. We use BJU distance learning with other stuff. Would like to chat. We are gluten-free, dairy-free, corn-free, mostly organic and non-GMO. Go to Facebook at Just So Trish. Run over there and, you know, after the show and stuff, and just message me. I communicate much better directly that way. Okay, so things to go. This month has been crazy. In fact, I was at the chiropractor because I've been having some dizzy spells, which I don't know if that's connected to the sinus pressure or whatever, but I've also been having like shoulder pain, like really crazy. I wake up with the like immense shoulder pain and my hands are numb at night. So I went to the chiropractor. I'm like, I'm totally out. What's going on? And he's like, I want to check something else. And he's like doing the eye thing. And he's got me following the eyes. And when I'm doing that, I'm jumping. And essentially what has kicked in is the way I've been handling the stress from the past year is finally catching up. And my fight and flight is colliding. Yes, it's colliding or whatever. And he's got these like little jobs for me to do to relax. And like my ability to plan things out is just not happening. And I'm kind of like, come spend every day with me. You will know that I already kind of know this. And some of the things I didn't notice was I do everything with my right hand. I had stopped using my left side. I was not like, I consciously didn't realize I was doing this. I was unconsciously not using my left hand at all. And so it was like a right brain issue. So I'm having to be careful about my going into adrenal fatigue. So there's that one. We have been doing a month of VPK. You can't hear him, thank goodness. He is like behind me having a meltdown, my VPKer. Let's see. Amber says, gluten is awful with my stomach and my mind. So much foggy brain. My daughter has terrible acne and also inflammation of her joints because of it. We are pulling it out of our diet and feel so much better. Okay, so that's kind of like some of what's going on. So in the midst of it, I put Orville, my 4-year-old, into VPK the first of the month. And I'll tell you, it's kind of running me ragged. I'm never home. I wish I was. And I just feel like I get there, I get them there, then we get home. And then it takes me a while to get back into the groove of things. And then once we're in the groove, I have to go get him. And, you know, it's been exhausting. But then at the end of the first month, we have managed to just huge strides with him. He's much more willing to speak and communicate. It's really developing a part of him that he'd prefer not to develop. And it's so easy to let him win in his desire than for me to stay on him because I'm trying to do so many things. So by taking him to the school, he's stuck in an environment he can't manipulate. And that has been such a huge improvement. I had like their little checkup with them, their teacher conference, the first one, and he is just doing amazing strides. And I'm like, y'all are exhausting me, but this is so worth it at the end of the year. But I will tell you, even though I'm having all these things, I know at the end of the year, this is his only school session. I'm not putting him back in, or, you know, I'm not putting him into, you know, he'll stay home and he's ready to stay home. And so I've been laughing. I've been talking to him. I'm like, hey, you need to be prepared. He does not like to socialize. He gets into his groove. He only wants to do his one thing, and he will shut down and not participate. Well, he wasn't really big about going, and then he's gotten a little better. But we have days it's like, you better get in that van. We are leaving. I don't want to go. I'm like, I don't care if you don't want to go. You have to go. And usually by the time we get there, he's good. He is like a happy little guy. He can't wait to go in the whole 9 yards. Not today. Today I got the VPK phone call, and he wasn't acting out or anything. He was just sitting in. Okay, VPK is voluntary pre-kindergarten. The state of Florida actually pays for it. And so they have certified vendors that provide those pre-kindergarten schools. So it's not attached to the kindergarten, even though they have some that are. To the public school, it's typically just little preschools everywhere. So it's a more intimate environment for the children to be without having all the other stuff going on. So they called me today because he was non-participating. He non-participated until probably the last 20 minutes. And so they're calling me. I'm like, do you want me to come get him? Because I will. Otherwise, you know, I kind of wanted to warn you this was going to happen with him eventually. But I feel pretty good because we've gone all month. And it was the last day of the month. He finally cracked on them. He was not up to it. So, it definitely was just something. So let's see. So you don't have VPK in Maine. I think that's Maine. No, that's not Maine. Is that Massachusetts? In New York, VPK is called Head Start. We do VPK with Olive something. And then it says, oh yeah, we have Head Start here. Okay, so Head Start, the official name of Head Start, is actually something to do with the federal money. And we have Head Start here too. But you have to be eligible. You have to meet certain requirements that are eligible. So it's pretty much taking, in Florida, it's the at-risk kids, bringing the at-risk kids and giving them extra help. So that's how you get to Head Start. And then there's VPK. And there's so many certain things like the VPK criteria in Florida is like, it has to be so many hours that they get. There can be no worksheets. So everything's very hands-on learning kind of style. And then they have certain criteria that they have to share and they have to teach and all of that. So we've been doing that and it's been kind of nice. I will tell you, there's an opportunity I can spend a little extra money and have him stay for a couple hours and just spending the first month as we've done it. Next month, I'm going to see about having him actually stay an extra 2 hours twice a week, just so when we get into our groove in our schoolwork here, it's not like, okay, we finally are in a groove, let's keep going. Oh, now we got to go. Give us a little bit more time to be in that hyper focus because there's nothing more upsetting than being in hyper focus and having to break out. And actually, I think that was his big meltdown today was he was having his ADHD hyper focus in his toys and he was building stuff. And I was like, dude, we got to go. You know, we got to go. I've been telling you we got to go. Let's go. And instead of taking the time and kind of slowly break him out of hyperfocus. So if any of y'all dealing with ADHD kids with hyperfocusing, you know that it can become like abrasive. I'm abrasive. That's my husband broke me out of my hyperfocus. I was really agitated for a while. And so I think that's kind of what set him off today. It does. I believe VPK and that decision on the way they do their educational process is varying state to state. Mag is a Canadian dad lurking. Lurk away. Just don't be inappropriate because we will kick you out. Tracy, hello. What did you? Oh, you're back again, Mr. Lurking Dad. I love talking homeschooling, all different perspectives. Cool. So that's been going on. So, but what's really been cool that's worked out, the biggest benefit of VPK this month has been doctor appointments. Oh my goodness. I cannot begin telling you, as a stay-at-home mom with my homeschool kids, getting out to go to a doctor's appointment is just hard. So all this month we've done dental appointments and we had a crown put on one. My daughter, like literally, I mean, you know, I was kind of hyping it up. I was like, hey, you're going to be a princess now. You're getting a crown. And so she's all like, I'm here to get my crown. I think she's a little disappointed the crown was on her tooth and not on her head. But she survived just fine. And so we've been doing our annual physicals. So I actually changed pediatricians because I was getting really agitated. So one of the things I haven't really talked about, because I just didn't know how to solve it, I didn't know how to share it, is my daughter has had the worst stomach issues for years. And every time I talk to my pediatrician, we'd kind of get the brush off. I'm not going to lie, it's just a brush off. And I really was starting to feel very I just frustrated by it. And my poor daughter is just constantly miserable. So really started paying attention about 3 years ago. Constant stomach bloat issues, definite digestive issues just all the way around. And so it really resembled some IBS, but, you know, it's like there was constipation, but there was, you know, there was both things going on at one time. She was miserable. She had really, it hit about 3 years ago, just massive brain fog. And we'd have times like she just wasn't sleeping. And I kind of noticed she'd become lazy. And I kind of like, you become really lazy. And she's like, yeah. She's like, I just don't want to do anything. And, you know, I haven't like glued all of that together being one problem, but it started to kind of become noticeable. So somewhere in there, her birthday came, and same here. We had issues after our pediatrician was good, but then not new doctor is great. And so like at her birthday party, she had like this little summer party birthday party, and one of the moms was hanging out, and she's like, oh, I'm gluten-free. And I'm like, well, how did you know that you're gluten-free, and why are you gluten-free? I don't mean this to be rude or mean, but I don't know what you're saying in a different language. And so I don't know if it's inappropriate. So if you can't message in English, I'm going to delete you because I don't know what you're saying. Thank you, Green Gables. You got it. I'm thinking maybe you went and translated what he was saying. So, no, I haven't had her tested for Lyme disease. But I'm talking to her about the gluten, and I was like, so what does that mean? What happens? And she was telling me her symptoms, and I was like, oh, those are really similar. So the night went on, and everybody kind of left, and I had my quiet time. And I started Pinteresting gluten-free and looking up those things. And when I did, that cough drop's driving me crazy, and I think I'm good now. When I did, they were very spot on. So what we did was we decided we would do we'd go gluten-free. So I talked to her about it. I said, hey, what do you think the day after your birthday? Let's go gluten-free for 100 days and see how you feel. You know, and I showed her the research I had done, and I'm like, what do you say? Because it has to be her idea. She's 13. We've tried taking away all kinds of different things. We're like, okay, you know, what do you think? And she's like, you know what, let's go ahead and try. So we started. And then my chiropractor does some food sensitivity testing with, I don't even know how to explain it. Some people think it's hogwash, it's alternative medicine. Some people are like, oh, this is the thing. My thoughts are this is a very non-invasive preliminary thing. Let's check some stuff out. And we tested her for a lot of different sensitivities. And the first thing that came back was wheat was a huge issue. Then the next thing was rice. The next thing was lentils. The next thing was milk, cabbage, and broccoli. And it was like, oh. So she had her doctor's appointment, her physical, and we started talking to her about that. My girl went in and did a pile of blood for blood testing. It was like the first time I spoke to the doctor. I said, listen, we did some preliminary food sensitivity testing with a chiropractor. He's calling these things up as an issue. I want this stuff checked. I want to go where we need to go. Crystal with Connecting the Dots says, the gastroenterology doctor can test for celiac disease through blood work and could possibly be what she has as well. Hello, Bread of Wonder. Cranioscopal therapy. I don't know what that is. Cranioscopal therapy. I don't know what that is. Well, that's one of the things she had tested. So she's being tested for everything that the chiropractor found, plus a few other things. She is being tested for celiac disease. She is being also tested for her thyroid. So one of the things we haven't got the test back, but everything I've researched and what we're finding already, it looks like celiac disease, which, I'm thankful because like, okay, so at least now we have a direction to go in where we've been feeling like shooting in the dark all the time. And, but she's missed some specific growth spurts that should have happened. She's missed. Yeah. And so, then she's also worried about her thyroid. too. So we're getting all that checked out. I'm like waiting. I figured today I would have some of the stuff, but we don't have it yet on what's going on. But I will tell you. So here's what happened. So we went gluten-free. So I'm like, I don't want you to feel left out. I don't want you to feel like you're missing out. So with not feeling missing out, I went to Walmart and Publix and I hit the grocery stores and I just loaded up on gluten-free and just really went to town because I didn't want her to feel deprived. And we got it. And she like initially like the bloat went down and then the bloat started coming back up. And we couldn't figure out what was going on. Well, when we realized about the rice, everything in the gluten-free aisle has rice in it. That's why it's cheaper. It's rice flour and she can't take it. So we started taking the rice. We took all the stuff with the rice flour and she's like not feeling. And the other part was she'd feel like her gut's leaking. She would describe it as leaky gut. She's like, Mom, I feel like I'm leaking here and here and here. And so we would have some different things. And now we hit Cheerios like crazy. We're like, yeah, Cheerios. And of course I've joined all the celiac and gluten-free groups I could find. And she started having issues with, she's actually started having issues with Cheerios. She can't eat those either because she'll start getting sick. Let's see. I have lupus and Hashimoto's. We doesn't go so well with paleo. Gluten-free foods are jam-packed with starches, sugars, chemicals, and rice crap. It is full of rice. Aaron says, be careful with gluten products because of the sugars as well. The Google food maps. I'll have to look that up. Yeah, so in some ways, because she's allergic to the rice, it's actually kind of pushing the way I cook in a whole nother direction. It's pushing us more into a whole food aspect. I still have a lot to get rid of in the house. And I'm kind of giving the kids some stuff like, here's the deal. Your sister has to eat this way. My husband can't comprehend cross-contamination. He ate like toast. He has toast crumbs all over his plate. He's like, here, put our potatoes on here. I'm like, no, you're going to make her sick. You're going to make her sick, you know, and going in that direction. So, and I'm just kind of like, but when you're out and about, you can eat whatever you want. Just don't bring it in the house. You know, so we're kind of going in that way. Let's see. Once the leaky gut heals, more than likely she will not have issues with rice. The celiac wreaks havoc on the body. I know, you know, and it's hard. It's hard and it's happy all at once because it's hard. It's like, okay, so what do we feed you? And it's also happy because I'm like, okay, all I have to do is feed you right and you're going to be happy. You know, you're going to be healthy again. And all I have to do is feed you. And after so long of her like, hey, what about this and what about that? You know, I feel like I finally have something useful and hopeful I can do for her. The other thing you have to watch out for is with gluten-free items, they can use nut flours in them. So for someone like me who has severe nut allergies to peanuts and tree nuts, you have to have it checked. So she's been checked for nuts so far and she's been okay, but we're getting the full thing. My niece has celiac disease, and when we do our summer family trip, she loves it when I cook because I'm already in mind that of cross-contamination. Makes it safer. Intolerances mimic celiac, but it's a sugar issue. So far, you know, so we're getting it all done. I'm waiting to get the results back. But I will tell you so far, things are changing. Huge changing. I can't even begin. Okay, so every day she's already lost like a clothing size because her whole entire, so like she literally was shaped like this because her abdominal was just so expanded. You couldn't touch it. She was just so sensitive to being touched. She's now straight, you know, so her clothes are fitting better. She's not as irritable with her stomach. She's not as, you know, there'd be days that she would lay down and she wouldn't get up for the day and she'd just read a book because she just felt so miserable. Get on nourishing broths daily, like bone broths. Yes, we're doing bone broths because we're doing bone broths. I just had a huge batch made for her. Does she have problems when she has fruit, as this can contribute to some stomach issues like diarrhea? We're finding out because she's having her fructosis checked also. And she needs, yes, and that's why we're doing the bone broth, is for her leaky gut. So, you know, every day it's kind of like, oh, how's your stomach feel? How's your stomach feel? How's your stomach feel? You know, and I kind of been like a little bit like, hey, how's your stomach feel? The funny part was, so her stomach immediately started going down. The pressure in her stomach was going down. She's not running back and forth to the bathroom, you know, and having those issues. So the IBS symptoms are gone, just almost gone overnight, it feels like. And then also, she has been sleeping. This was a huge one. She has been sleeping. This is like big in our world because she has been complaining for a couple of years that she's just not getting a full night's sleep. She's always tired, and she's deep sleeping for the first time in years. And like, I didn't even realize how much it had to play into things. The other part I've started noticing is she's not lazy anymore. You know, where I've been thinking she was lazy, I'm catching her and she's running and she's doing what she used, being active again. Like she used to be very, very active, and she's naturally getting into like being really active and awake. That's become the big one. Like yesterday, it kind of hit me, you know, just, I didn't realize how dormant she had become. You know, and some of that we're like, oh, you're becoming a teenager, you know, you're becoming a tween, but she had become dormant and just stopped moving and not really all awake. And she was always sitting in brain fog, and she's waking up, like drastically waking up. And I'm like, wow, you know, and so there's a part of me that's just like, oh, I didn't even realize you were dormant. I didn't realize, you know, it's like she's waking up out of a coma all these years. And I'm like, wow. And so we haven't even got the results yet. And yet it's like, oh, we're gluten-free. I mean, we're eating a lot of potatoes. We are not a big potato eater, but we eat a lot of potatoes. There's lots of potatoes in our house now. You know, and just trying to find those alternatives. You know, we're eating a lot of corn chips and corn things and stuff. But it's been incredible. So I don't know if it is celiac disease. I don't know where we're at on that with it and when it's going to come to, you know, hopefully tomorrow I will finally find out everything. I did buy her, you know, one of the good parts is I have my time with Mama Gets Fit, not Mama Gets Fit, Trim Healthy Mama, that I have a good sense of how to cook things and bake things and have baked goods and treats that are wheat free. And so I have that book for her, but then I ordered the Brianna Thompson Nourishing Traditions book, not Nourishing Traditions. I don't know what it's called. I just ordered it. But she's the one that does a lot of the other Trim Healthy Mama recipes. And so I bought her that book. It just came in yesterday and I gave it to her, and she's just loving the fact that here's somebody that is just a few years older than her that has all these recipes. And so she made like overnight oatmeal, and she had that this morning. And so, you know, she's really realizing, okay, in order to always be eating, I really have to take control of cooking. And so it's kind of motivating her into cooking and being more attentive to cooking and reading all the, you know, ingredients. And it's definitely moving us into a place like we're probably going to move into just buying nothing with more than 3 ingredients, you know, just keeping it. And she does have some dairy intolerances too. So, but we checked her and it doesn't look like she has goat milk intolerance. So we are on the right track with that. But it has been crazy, y'all. It has been busy. That's why I haven't made videos. I've just been consumed in the world of gluten-free, the world of keeping my kid right. Let's see. It's amazing what Green Gable says. It's amazing what happens when the body is getting the nutrition it needs. Aaron says celiacs usually have skin issues as well. I know, we do. Mama Cat says Jeff has a couple of friends who have celiac and one's actually had surgery. Wow. She just might have intolerance. We think we have some intolerances too. I wish the best of luck with the results, and hopefully things keep going good for her. I do too. It's just so nice to feel like I can do something. We can do something about this. That is the one thing my niece has done. She went to high school this year, and she is really trying to take control of her diet, how she eats with celiac. I will tell you the biggest thing is I no longer trust any food that isn't from my house, from my kitchen. On that same note, the only thing we trust out and about is either going to Wendy's for the potato, the Caesar salad without croutons, or the chili. And oh, I'll see you later, Mama Cat. Thank you. Yay, you made it. We're about to close up. I'm like 6 minutes past due. Or we stop at Aldi's and we get the corn chips with like either guacamole, or we get the corn chips and we get hummus or something like that, or we get her like pepperonis and stuff and all of that. So that has been kind of like our go-to thing to go when we're out and about. I mean, corn chips is becoming a staple in our life. And, you know, the pastas and stuff are typically made with rice. They're not made with a lot of things. I did find corn pasta, but, you know, we're still going to find out if she has a corn issue. We'll see. Mama Geek says, amen, sister. I have had to be that way my whole life with my allergies. My niece and I talked about that a lot this summer, and I think I got her thinking about taking control and knowing what she is eating. That is cook. I was going to check out now. Wow, because Spectrum. All right, I'm sorry. That was a side note. I didn't realize it was for each other. I think in some ways with her and her motivation for staying focused on being in control is all the time being so miserable. And that was one of my big hopes, because I've tried in the past, like, hey, how about if we cut this out, or how about we cut that out? And she wouldn't be that excited to participate, or she would lose interest so quickly. And so one of the things I was just like, hey, let's commit to 100 days of going gluten-free to see how you feel. And one of the things I've been hearing is that after 30 days of getting the gluten out of your system, it's like you are like, it takes 30 days to get it out. I don't think we've actually successfully gotten it all out. Each day we're getting a lot better on getting it out. You know, like we're more and more, or less and less is sneaking in. But also already it's a huge difference. So it is motivating her. I am excited because of doing the Trim Healthy Mama that there's a lot of options in there for her to not feel deprived. They have black bean pasta if she can have that, and chickpea pasta. I need to find that. I probably need to find that online and not at the stores. And that's the other part too, is like it's kind of exhausting going to the stores, but then it's sometimes hard to find all the ingredients listed without it being in teeny tiny text. Green Gable says, how many days has it been? She has been gluten-free now 15 days. 15 days. So we'll know by Thanksgiving. And it's also like, okay, we really need to plan out Thanksgiving. Crystal Van Meter says, I am in a kayak on Lake Scintilla in North Carolina right now. And you're watching and you're with us. You are so cool. I love it. First, just so Trish live for me. Hi there, everyone. Hey, Little Mountain Ranch. My daughter recently tested with allergies to wheat, dairy, egg, banana, and shrimp. I had no idea what to feed her. Still struggling, but mostly doing a plant-based whole food lifestyle. I think that's easier. I mean, honestly, I think in the end, it's almost easier that she's rice intolerant also, because it is pushing us into a whole food mentality. And it almost makes it cheaper, because you can lose your shirt buying all the gluten-free stuff that they have. I mean, we've found a few gluten-free treats that we can get, you know, like there's a pretzel by Snyder's that's gluten-free that doesn't have rice flour in it, so she can have that. I won't lie, I'm a little bit like, I love them because they have like this really good crunch to them. But in the most part, by actually forcing us into eating whole foods and not crap packaged boxed crap is probably going to be the biggest benefit from it too. My kids know the difference too, and when or they do have their food, they see how quick it affects them. I too have gone to this food switch for some stuff, and it's a good change. You know, it puts me in a place where it's like, how could I balance a keto life or a keto or Trim Healthy Mama? And it's funny too, because she's not really doing Trim Healthy Mama because she eats potatoes and she eats sugar and she's, you know, she has those things. But at the same time, you know, she kind of is. And so it does work out good. We've been doing quinoa. I made a meatloaf with the quinoa that she liked, except she didn't like the ketchup on top because she hates the taste of high fructose corn syrup. And she's really finicky about it. And so, like, I made her the S pancake, and I wasn't sure because I made her the S pancake before and she wasn't into it. I made it for her this time, and she went to go put syrup on it, and she's like reading the ingredients, and she's like, oh, it's high fructose corn syrup. Can I just have the honey? I'm like, have the honey, you're fine. So she's making like really, really, really good choices on it. But I'm really excited, and I really can't wait to get the test back. And we still have a couple more tests to do, so I don't even think our testing is all done yet because we have so much more to do. All right. Wow. I am late. Let's see. Aldi's has quinoa at a decent price. We eat it in place of rice sometimes. Yes. And I've got one bag so far. And I'm wondering, can you do quinoa and make it kind of like oatmeal? Can you cook it that way too? Mama Geek TV says, we are trying to go to Whole Foods in our house just to have a better diet. I'll tell you what, I've done it in the past, but there's nothing like having a real life issue or finding that, I don't know, you really stick to it when you have to, is what I was going to say. For awesome gluten-free recipes, advice, check out Road to the Farm. Yeah, Melanie does some amazing, amazing things. Amazing things. Aldi's has organic ketchup without high fructose corn syrup. Oh, good to know, good to know. And so Walmart has it too. So that's what I need to know. So I have to get my stuff done. I don't think I can, let's see if I can show you. I haven't posted them on Instagram yet because I haven't got a good picture. But my kids just got their fair project, which I think is a lifetime project because we've already laughed. They're not selling them. They're going to be in the pasture. But yesterday, let's see if you guys can see that. Can you see them? Yesterday, we went and picked out lambs. So now we have lambs. And it's funny because there's actually nearby is a solar plant field. And the lambs are used to keep the grass down from mowing because then they don't have to worry about anybody knocking into the solar panels. And it's safer to have lambs there than not. And so we bought the lambs, and they're like, well, if you sell them at the fair, we're probably going to buy them back. And my daughter's like, this is my baby. I don't think I'm selling, you know. And I think we got plenty of pasture, so I think they're going to, my one daughter was like, well, I could breed them and sell them back because they're trying to increase their stuff. Oh, Erin says with her quinoa, she puts coconut milk, cinnamon, and raisins in quinoa in the morning with maple syrup. But is it cooked quinoa or is it dry quinoa? Is my next question. Quinoa, I'm still learning, figuring this one out. How cute. Thank you. That does sound good. Sounds good. Awesome. Yeah, so I have to get our forms in for the fair today, and I have to get ready for tonight. So tonight, our church puts on a big fall festival with a never dried. Okay, whew. Them things are a little bit rough when they're dry. Puts on a fall festival, and we have games, and we have a chili cook-off, and we have hot dogs, and it cannot be eaten raw. Good to know. I needed to know that. And we have cotton candy, and we have popcorn and ices. hey, Pepper and Pine. And we have hay rides tonight. So all that is going on. My little guy, I haven't shared this one on Instagram either, but I'll show you guys. He decided he was going to go as Darth Vader, which has been hilarious because there is actually the Darth Vader soundtrack, like dun 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 dun. So we keep playing it for him, but this is what he looks like. Is he not just a trip? Except my husband's like, we got to have another kid because we went to Walmart and he's like, I'm gonna be Darth Vader, and so he gets Darth Vader, and he's like, I'm thinking it's $15. Until I checked out and it's $25. I'm like, are you kidding me? My husband's like, for $25 for a costume, we better have another kid. I'm like, I still feel like I'm feeling this one. But so every time he gets going, I keep playing on YouTube. Somebody's got just that music from the thing, you know, Darth Vader music. So I keep playing them Darth Vader music. I'm like, here you go, here you go. I also have a quinoa stuffing pin for the holidays. I love you, girl. That's what I needed. That's what I need to know. Okay, so I've got to get off here. I don't have a pen and paper in here at all. Mine are going as Harry Potter this year. It's really, really cold here. He can wear it for his Christmas outfit and for Easter. I told him for $25, he better wear that sucker every day for the next 4 months because that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. I've bought, and I will say with 6 kids in 13 years, I've bought very few costumes, but I don't know, those little boys. All right, I'm just going to do a covering prayer over us. I'm not going to take prayer requests today. Next week, I'll take prayer requests next week. Next week will be the first Tuesday of the month. I don't know. Maybe we'll do like question and answers or something like that. Y'all want to do a question and answer session next week? I should do that. Uh-oh, they're breaking in on me. What do you want? Can you go? Where? No, you can't go to the park yet. Yeah, you waving? Okay, you're waving? You can't go yet. You can't go yet. We did get, she's not in here. She's not in there? All right. Yeah, go find her. Okay, yes, do a question and answer. Pinterest fails are real. I'm going to try my alternative holiday recipes early just in case stuff fails. I will say, oh, by the way, so he is talking more. But then the doctor also gave, we now have occupational therapy through the private sector instead of through like the school. So that's like huge stuff, huge stuff. And he's actually speaking better, even though it's probably hard for y'all to understand what he was saying because he catches his tongue with that ta-ta-ta in there. He's doing so much better because he's actually making an attempt to speak. So, yep, next week we'll do questions and answers on all things. Let's do a question and answer and also share our favorite healthy holiday recipe. My favorite holiday healthy recipe is boiled water. And then I'm done with that and I actually eat all the other stuff. I try to be good, but it's hard. And it's going to be hard this year because all my favorite stuff. And it's like how to make gravy without flour. I mean, I make Southern gravy. You know, I fry the flour. And one of our favorite meals is fried venison with gravy over rice with green beans. That is like our like comfort food, serious comfort food. And it's like, okay, so how do we do that? My, let's see, another one, Mama Geek, my other favorite one is, I eat a salad, a small salad, and then I eat everything. Arrowroot beef powder, is that for the gravy then? I make gravy without flour, use a small amount of arrowroot. Okay, so I can just use arrowroot. I need to go up to the Amish store to do that. You can do gluten-free gravy. We have it here and make it yourself. Okay, and arrowroot's the thickener. Because I like the gum or whatever that stuff is called. I don't care for it at all. And then, and I just have to make sure, or cornstarch. I grew up on cornstarch. I didn't like cornstarch after I started having Southern gravy. I'll just have to get used to it. I did have to laugh. I'm not getting anywhere quick, am I? I'm just chit-chatting away like we all ain't got nothing to do. But I was up in the Walmart Saturday. You know, I was up at the Walmart, and I was kind of laughing because I was giving my husband a hard time. And I always caught the young girl employee working there. I said, listen to me right now, hon. If you find that man that you think you're just absolutely in love with, you need to go meet his daddy. And you watch the way his daddy treats his mama. And then you watch the way your in-love boyfriend treats his mama. That's your future. Just realize that's your future. Take mine to that. You know, I was just giving my husband a hard time because we always do that. And I always tell every young girl that piece of advice. And she started saying something. And I'm like, well, how old do you think I am? And she's like, I think you're like maybe 30, maybe. Are you 30? And I was like, oh, girl, I love you. I was like, I'm fixing to be 40, but I'll take 30 any day. She's like, girl, you're 40. No. And I mean, she must have been really young because she had no sense of how old I was. I went to check out, and the cashier told me I looked over 40. I was like, I'll take the back girl instead of the front girl. Forget that mess. Same here at Laugh Out Loud. You can talk away today. Maybe it's just because it's Halloween. There's a girl on YouTube I watch called Cambria Joy, and she has to eat mainly whole food because of her celiac disease. She has a lot of cooking recipes, but using different ingredients. Cool. I know. I've been talking to Katie about starting a YouTube channel or even a blog. Just to, I don't know, to chronicleize her stuff or whatever. And I'm thinking like, oh, well, you'll be talking a lot about celiac probably. We'll see when the tests come in. All right, so I'm going to pray for us. I really got to go. This has been a long show, and I still have so much to do. Nowadays, you can just self-identify as 30. My friend is 60, and she jokes she self-identifies as 30. You know, my thought was like, maybe I want to identify as, well, I wanted to identify as 55 the other day, but I couldn't identify as 55 for the discount at the Goodwill. But I'm thinking I should identify as 55, and then everybody would be like, dang, you look so good. I mean, the compliments are never going to get done running out if I tell everybody I'm 55 until I turn 55. But what happens if I just identify as 55? I mean, I'll look good for 55. I mean, like, nobody's going to know. I mean, I'm not, but then it's like I can get away with the fact that I haven't colored my hair. That's what she said gave me away, was the gray right here and the gray here is what gave me away. Don't forget to give a thumbs up before you leave. Yes, give me a thumbs up if you don't mind. I don't know, I like it. Not gonna lie, I like it. I still haven't fixed and colored my hair from when I messed up and put the conditioner in it instead of the color and the #1 bottle. I got a new box, but I just haven't felt that like courageous that I'm not gonna mess up again. But like I said, I'm probably chatty from the steroids of the lung medicine, and that's why you got me today. All right, I'm gonna close this out so we all go do the things we need to do. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for the blessings you give us to get to come together and just share our knowledge and share our struggles, dear Lord. Thank you for the blessing of the technology that provides this platform for us. There's needs that you know about that we don't, for the people that are here listening and the ones that will come on after, dear Lord, and just let those needs be met. Bring comfort and faith and hope to those that need it. Dear Lord, as we're going in today and the activities that are going on, just let us be focused upon you and not to get caught up in the world and not to be deceived, dear Lord. And just for us mamas that just struggle and just being a mom and being a wife and being a teacher and being a caregiver and being a dietitian, dear Lord, and just being the housemaid sometimes. Lord, just be with us and just guide us in each and every step that we do and give us hope. And when we feel alone, remind us that we're not. Lord, that's the biggest blessing I get from this each time, is knowing that I'm not alone, knowing that as isolating as this task can be and how demeaning it can be from the world to us as they who have got a higher purpose for us. And it's one of the most humblest jobs that we can take. We got nobody handing us raises, giving us participation awards, telling us what a great job we've done, and yet we keep going. Lord, and just let us continue in your path and not to be dismissed, to not be deterred from the task at hand, because there's days it is hard and there's days it is so rewarding. And then there's days it's just mundane. Lord, and let's just keep us in the path that you have for us. In your son's precious name we pray. Amen. All right. I love y'all. I got to go and figure out how to make awesome happen, just like y'all. So I will talk to you later, and hopefully I'll have a video up soon. Soon. We'll talk to you later.